everybody. Welcome to today's Dunk Shot, brought to you by Ray Brandt Auto Group. Well, it's game day for Tulane University, game week for the LSU Tigers. Week one of the college football season has finally arrived, and that means it's time for my fearless football forecast. I stick my neck on the line, make my bold predictions for this week's games. The NFL will wait till next week. College football takes center stage as the real games start. And we'll start first in Tulsa, Oklahoma tonight. Chapman Stadium, the debut of Tanner Lee at quarterback for Tulane University. Much anticipated debut. If you've been over at Willow Street, everybody's talked about Tanner Lee since the day he arrived from Jesuit High School, and he's taken the center snaps tonight for the first time as a major college quarterback. Should be fun to watch. Very difficult assignment to ask a freshman quarterback to go on the road for his first test and have to play in a hostile environment. It's going to be a sellout crowd. Tulsa, of course, lost to Tulane last year in the Superdome. An uncharacteristic losing season for the Golden Hurricane. This is their first home opener in 8 years. I think all the intangibles stack up for Tulsa in this game. I'm really eager to watch Tanner Lee. He doesn't have a lot of experienced skill position players around him. Those guys are going to have to emerge. Tulane's defense is going to have to carry this team early on. They've got a very solid defense, but I think it's a difficult task for them to try and get a win at Tulsa. So I'm going with the Golden Hurricane 30-24. But I do think Tulane will play well and be very respectable in this assignment. Okay, on to Houston, where I'll be this weekend to see LSU and another much-anticipated debut. Leonard Fournette makes his debut for LSU against Wisconsin in a top 25 battle. Should be a great game. Two teams very similar. Inexperienced quarterbacks, athletic dual-threat quarterbacks, great offensive lines, and great running back play, which means this clock should be rolling a lot because I think they're going to keep the ball on the ground. I think LSU's got an advantage on defense. They're more experienced there, more athletic. Wisconsin's trying to build an SEC-style defense, but it's going to take them some time, and they're very inexperienced in the front seven. I think Les Miles and Cam Cameron are going to pound the ball. You're going to see a lot of Kenny Hilliard, a lot of Terrence McGee, and obviously a lot of Leonard Fournette. So what should we expect from the young freshman? Great expectations on him, and if we use history as a judge, we should see a pretty good performance. I look back at some of the great running backs in history, how they performed in their debuts. Herschel Walker in 1980, probably the best freshman I've ever seen, at least in the SEC for sure. He debuted with 2 touchdowns and 84 yards in a 16-15 come-from-behind win against Tennessee. 2 years later, Bo Jackson debuts against Wake Forest at the University of Auburn University, I should say. 123 yards for Bo Jackson, 2 TDs in a 28-10 win. In 1995, probably the best LSU freshman running back, Kevin Falk, the all-time leading rusher in LSU history, debuted in a loss against Texas A&M, but he had 73 yards on 14 carries. And then the guy that most people compare Leonard Fournette to, Adrian Peterson, 10 years ago next week to the date. Adrian Peterson debuted with 100 yards in a big win against Bowling Green. He went on and ran for 1,900 yards that year, second in the Heisman, probably the best freshman running back in college football history. A lot of people thinking Leonard Fournette could be a Heisman candidate. It's going to be great theater watching him come on the field Saturday night against Wisconsin. I can't wait to see it, but I do think LSU will emerge victorious if, and this is a big if, their young quarterbacks can avoid mistakes and their running backs can avoid putting the ball on the ground. They don't make a lot of turnovers. I think they win this one 30-22. It's a nice opening win for a young LSU team that has a lot of potential. That's it for the Dunk Shot. I'll be back tomorrow right here at NOLA.com. Thanks for tuning in.